It's me. So, I was on one of the Reason forums on Facebook, and I came across this question. Basically, the guy was having trouble syncing something to his song tempo. And I actually ended up commenting on that question that sometimes I have trouble doing the same. If it's not a perfect loop that I'm grabbing from Splice or something like that, or if I don't have forehand knowledge of the BPM, sometimes it can be a bit tricky, especially something long like an acapella. In fact, I typically just default to going to Ableton to warp it. So the question, although it might not be specifically pertaining to an acapella, got me thinking about why I avoid Reason for this task. And can it be done in Reason? And can it be done easily? Of course, we all drop loops in and we know how to get those in time. But, again, once it gets more complex, how do you handle it? So let's dive in. Real quick, before we get into this, if you could just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. I mine the comments for ideas, so if you have something you want me to go over, Okay, so let's get into it. We have this kind of house thing I was working on, and I want to show you, before we get started on acapella, something complex, I want to show you just the simple ways that in case you weren't aware. So if you have like a loop, this loop is at 102. My song is at 110. So if I just drop this in on the chorus and zoom in, you can see that this is slower than my tempo, and it should be at this marker. So you can just hold control and then time stretch it to get it in time. And then, if you were to like loop it out, and probably going to need to turn it down. Right. So that's all good for a loop, but sometimes you don't have a loop. Sometimes like a perfect loop. Sometimes instead you have something like this. It's like a riser thingy. It's not going to fit this song, but it'll illustrate the point. It's like a riser thingy, and sometimes these thingies, sometimes they don't have perfect region boundaries, so it's not that helpful to try to stretch it. And this riser has a sidechain in it, so it actually needs to be on tempo. Tempo counts. So in this case, I would just take note of the BPM, type it here, 128, and this is the you can't fail way to get something in time. Drag it in, and then move the tempo back. You get the idea. That's awful. Okay, so now you have the simple techniques down. Let's take something like an acapella. I have this vocal here. It's at 150. We know that, but we're going to pretend like we don't. Follow me. Perfect. To the end. This is what it sounds like. Just believe. Don't pretend. Unaltered. Follow me to the end of time. So certainly not in my tempo. Not quite my tempo. Okay. So if we drag this in, we're going to warp it. So we'll just put this like on the chorus. Okay. So the first thing that happens when you bring a song in, or bring a sample in, any sample, it's going to make these slice markers. They're not warp markers. I probably will call them warp markers because I'm always going to compare this to Ableton, which is the gold standard of warping. That's what they call it. So to kind of extrapolate the same workflow that I would use in Ableton, I'm going to get rid of all the markers. You want to do this with as few markers as possible. We're going to try to manipulate the wave on a macro level and just basically, essentially, beat match it to our song. So what we need to do first is put it like an anchor point. So on the 1, we're going to put a slice marker, and we're going to actually, I hit escape to exit. We're going to actually move this over, turn snap off, move this over so it's on the 1. We're going to solo this and turn the click on by, I have a shortcut, it's C. Oh wait, is that everyone's shortcut? That might be the default shortcut, I'm not sure. Okay, so we'll turn this down so we can hear. I want to keep the wave the same size though, so I'm actually going to use a gain plugin.
Follow me to the end. Just believe.
Okay. So you can hear it's way off, but it's starting on the right time. Actually, no, it's a little behind. It should be here.
Follow me.
Okay. So now the next thing we need, and actually in this case, because there's so much space in between, I'm going to cut these in 2. So we're going to manipulate this section, and then we're going to manipulate this section. Is that the fastest way? Actually, no. The fastest way is to do them together and then adjust by cutting them. Me again, from the future. I was editing this video and I realized that this section was a little bit too long. I should have trusted my instincts and cut this wave in half before trying to sync it up. There's just too much space in between each like phrase. So I thought about editing this section down to like make it shorter, to make it flow better. But you need to see the whole process. So I thought I'd just cut in right now and re-record this section really quick because I don't want to re-record the rest of the video. It turned out pretty good. So let's just dive right in and I'll just drop you right back off in the video. So I left off deciding whether or not I was going to cut this wave in half. And the reason is because
Follow me to the end.
There's a lot of space in between each phrase. Especially there will be when I stretch it out. So we have our sample here, and this time I'm gonna cut it. Should have followed that instinct the first time, and deal with each section separately. Although I'm not gonna even bother with the second section. It's the same process as the first, and we wanna keep this tight. So we have, just remember where I am. We have the sample on the 1, click going, and obviously it's way out of time.
Follow me to the end.
So our first step is to add a marker at the end of the section we want to warp. It would usually be the whole acapella. And the second one, it will be the whole acapella because it's an easier one to warp on the second one. This one's kind of hard. Anyway, so I need to stretch this in order to essentially beat match it. So
Follow me.
we can do it live. You can see this just real quick to give you a heads up. There's this thing right here, this little pie chart right here. You'll see it start calculating as I stretch the wave. The wave isn't fully stretched until it's done calculating. So if you hear glitches, that's why. Okay, so here we go. Let's beat match this.
Follow me.
It's gonna need to stretch by a lot.
Follow me to the end. Just believe.
You hear that big space in between to the end and just believe. It's like that's what made it hard the first time.
Follow me to the end. Just believe. Don't pretend.
A little slower.
Follow me to the end of time and space, till our lives have been erased.
You can hear it glitching as it's calculating. So essentially we have this section in time. We're gonna have to go back, and with any acapella that you drop in, even if you know the BPM and use the BPM method, changing the BPM in the DAW and then, all that, you're still going to have to make adjustments on any super long phrase or acapella. So let's listen through. And you saw how quick that was. Once you get the markers out of your way, you can just beat match the whole wave.
Follow me to the end. Just believe. Don't pretend.
So far, nothing to adjust, really.
Follow me to the end of time and space, till our lives have been erased.
Sounds like it's rushing a little bit. So I made a marker, because this sounds perfect to me, this area. So I made a marker here so I can just stretch this area just a little bit. Boop.
Follow me to the end of time and space, till our lives have been erased. Oh, whoa, follow me, follow me.
We want to start here.
Follow me to the end of time and space, till our lives have been erased. Oh, whoa, follow me.
So there you go. See how if it stays in time.
Follow me.
Nice. So let's hear this in our track. Pitch isn't going to be right. Click off.
Follow me to the end.
Here, let's transpose it down a little bit. Still not going to be the right pitch, but it should be closer.
Follow me to the end.
Change the stretch type to vocal.
Just believe. Don't pretend. Follow me to the
Wait, it's going over the horn. Let's let's move this to here. Wait, no, let's move this to here. I literally just clicked the region, clicked the parameter I wanted to change. It's highlighted and I just use my mouse wheel. So
follow me to the end.
kind of works.
Just believe. Don't pretend.
Don't pretend feels a little weird. Let's just fix it so you can see what that looks like. Slice edit.
Just believe. Don't pretend.
So I just want to fix that one word. So I'm just going to leave this marker here and leave like this marker here and just delete these. So I just want to move the whole word. So I'm going to hit W to make a pen tool and then make a marker there. Hit Q to go back to the pointer tool. These are all in order, by the way. Q, W, E, R, T, Y. What comes after Y? U, I. Just so you know.
Don't pretend.
So this feels late. So if we move it to here.
Don't pretend.
Glitch because it's calculating.
Just believe. Don't pretend.
And let's say we didn't like where 10 was.
Don't pretend.
We could just make a marker on 10. This feels like it should be there.
Don't pretend.
Glitch because it's calculating. Let me let that finish. There we go.
Don't pretend.
Cool. Anyway, you get it. There you have it. In this case, I cut the region in half because of the phrasing was so spaced out that it took a lot more fiddling the first time around to get it in time. So take that with you. And then, yeah, get rid of all the markers that are in your way, move the wave in a macro way, and then make adjustments. But I'm going to do another one when I cut back into the video so you can get another look at it. And don't forget, we started here.
Follow me to the end. Just believe. Don't pretend.
Don't pretend that this actually works, but you
Follow me to the end.
you get it. We made it work in time. And obviously I would spend probably more time making sure all the phrases were perfect, but you get it. Let's do another one. So this is more of a real life situation. I'm working on a house track and I want to make a bootleg remix of a hot song, the song that's hot right now. So that's what I did here. I wrote this kind of with this other song in mind. And here, I'll just play it for you a little bit. Where? You get the idea. And I downloaded the acapella that I wanted to, work into this song. It's this song by this artist called Baby Jake called Cigarettes on Patios. So I downloaded it. It's a DIY acapella. Somebody took the instrumental and put it against the main version and like did some phase inversion, or maybe they pulled up RX7 and stripped the acapella out. So it's not perfect, but this is a bootleg. I'm making this for my live sets for when that's a thing again. I'm making this for my live sets. So I don't intend to sell it or anything like that. And also the kind of DIY-ness of the acapella is kind of lends itself to the style of bootlegs. Anyway, so I have the bed and now I'm going to show you how I would work the vocal in. I will have to, this is a kind of a hit song right now. So I'm going to, in an effort to try to not get a copyright strike, I'm going to pitch the vocal down like 3 semitones and see if I can get away with it. But I have it here. So if I just drag this in, it's like warm in here. I had some like sweat on my lip. Okay. And then we'll just solo this again and basically go through the same process. I should probably just play it for you really quick so you can hear how not house this is. Oh, I didn't pitch it down. Let me do that. Okay.
I was smoking cigarettes on patios. I was drinking beer with my friends. I was trying to boogie down the night, vodka with the Sprite. Here we go again.
So you can still hear some of the snaps, and you can still hear some of the. It's not clean, but it adds to the flavor. Okay, so let's say we just put this on bar 9. I was smoking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I was smoking cigarettes. So cigarettes is on 1. So let's find that.
I was smoking cigarettes on.
So if we turn
Cigarettes on. Smoking cigarettes on.
it's probably that transient. So let's do that.
Cigarettes on patio.
Okay. And then our next move is to
Cigarettes on.
Yeah, okay. Our next move is to go into slice edit. And again, we want to affect the wave on a macro level. We don't want to deal with individual slices and getting them in time. So we're going to Control A to select all the slice markers and just delete them. And then we want one to anchor cigarettes to 1. So we'll put one there. And then we want to really just use this whole wave and beat match this bad boy. So we need some more space. So hit Q to go back to the pointer tool and just drag out some more space to work with. Right? And then go back to slice edit mode. We can actually just delete this because we can just use this. And let's just do it.
Cigarettes on patio.
Way slower.
Cigarettes on patios. I was drinking beer with my friends. I was trying to boogie down the night. Vodka with the Sprite.
It's a little bit too
Here
fast.
we go again. I was smoking cigarettes on patio. I was throwing money in the air. Maybe I should pick that shit back up. Bet my night on luck. Here we go again. I was smoking cigarettes on patio, yeah.
So it's basically in time now. So, I'd have to probably go through and spot check a bunch of stuff. But if we drop this in our track, hold on, let me see where I want to.
Cigarette.
Let me do this and do this. Yeah, probably right there. So if we put this here, whoops. Just hold control and move the arrows. It's easier. Move by your grid selection. So is this right?
I was smoking cigarettes.
Oh, we actually have to fix everything before the warp marker too. So let me do that. Slice edit, and we add one here. And then let's move this to here. That feels right.
I was smoking cigarettes on patios.
Let's put one here because everything up until this point felt right. So if we just do this. Right, that was a little rushed. Probably should have put one here first, but that's fine.
I was smoking cigarettes on patio.
Okay, so let's see how this sounds. Turn the click off. Gotta turn it on.
I was smoking cigarettes on patios.
Okay, so the pitch isn't right. Whoops. So let's just real quick. So what? I pitched this down -3 in order to not get in trouble here. So if we just take all the melodic elements, this might take 1 second, but it's actually a good lesson for you to learn that you can pitch your song down quickly. Take all the melodic stuff. My melodic stuff is always purple. And blue, because that's the bass. Blue, purple. This is why you got to be neat in case stuff comes up. And then I think I have one percussion that is pitched. I think it's called bloop. A boop. Hold control. So I held control while I was selecting all those. It looks like I have all the melodics. I'm not going to change the drums. And then if I press Control, Shift, and T, that brings up this tool window. And then I can just transpose out all that, including the audio. Oh, wait, is there any audio? Downlifter. Yeah, it's all. That's all of it. Okay, so if I just hit apply, I just transposed all of that, audio and MIDI alike, 3 semitones. That's actually pretty pro tip right there. And then this should be in time, or in pitch, in key. That first one was out of time, but whatever.
I I was smoking cigarettes on patios. I was drinking beer with my friends. I was trying to boogie down the night. Vodka with the Sprite. Here we go again. I was smoking cigarettes on patios. I was throwing money in the air. Maybe I should pick that shit back up. Bet my night on love. Here we go again. I was smoking cigarettes on patio, yeah.
I'm gonna fix this on the fly.
Oh shit. Never thought I'd be a criminal. Mama made a bow. Let's slide to the next damn party in the neighborhood. The night just started, might not make it home. Just a bunch of runaways, but we only running to the grave. Nothing you can really say. I was smoking cigarettes on patios. I was drinking beer with my friends. I was trying to boogie down the night. Vodka with the Sprite. Here we go again. I was smoking cigarettes on patios. I was throwing money in the air. Maybe I should pick that shit back up. Bet my night on love. Here we go again. I was smoking cigarettes.
So let's fix this.
Maybe I should pick that shit back up. Bet my night on love. Here we go again.
No.
Maybe I should pick that shit back up. Bet my night on love. Here we go again. Maybe I should pick that shit back up.
And as you can see, I can just go through and kind of spot check as I go.
Maybe I should pick that shit back up. Bet my night on love. Here we go again. I was smoking cigarettes on patio at my sugar mama's crib. She told me hurry up, we gotta go. I said here we go again. Let's slide to the next damn party.
So let's get rid of this, and then we can use that macro slider again to get this back in time. So, because it was starting to drift behind.
Maybe I should.
So from here.
The night's full. I said here we go again. I was smoking cigarettes on patio at my sugar mama's crib. She told me hurry up, we gotta go. I said here we go again.
There we go.
The night's now over, I ain't make it home.
So from here.
Cigarettes on patio at my sugar mama's crib. She told me hurry up, we gotta go. I said here we go again.
Let's check the brake.
Here we go again.
Oh, it's out.
I was smoking cigarettes on patio.
So again, you can, it looks like maybe if I just did this, that would work maybe.
Cigarettes on patio. Make it home. Just a bunch of runaways. But we only running to the grave. Only running to the grave. Cigarettes on patio. And my sugar, just a bunch of runaways. But we only running to the grave.
There we go.
Only running to the grave. I was smoking cigarettes on patios. I was drinking beer with my friends. I was trying to boogie down the night. Vodka with the Sprite. Here we go again. I was smoking cigarettes on
See how the brake goes.
Here we go again.
No, it's a little off.
I was smoking cigarettes on patios. I was throwing money in the air. Maybe I should pick that shit back up. Bet my night on love. I was smoking sick. Maybe I should pick that shit back up. Bet my. Maybe I should pick that shit back up. Bet my night on love.
And then, so this should go back a little bit.
Maybe I should pick that shit back up. Bet my night on love. Here we go again.
Anyway, you get it. I could spend all day doing it. But yeah, that's how you do that. Make big moves and then make smaller moves. Again, the fastest way is always to know the BPM, type in the BPM, and then change it back. But even then, on an acapella this long, you'll have to make adjustments. So you need to know how to do that and how to just get all the clutter out of the way, all those extra slice markers. I'm sweating. It is hot in here. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, there you have it. That's how you do that. It's worth noting, I wrote that instrumental, obviously, with that acapella in mind. So that's why everything lined up so perfectly. I hope that pitch down trick was helpful. That's helpful in a pinch when you need to move everything. That tool window. What else? Thank you for watching, of course. Also, for considering it gets no love for it, Reason's time stretching algorithm is amazing. Sounds amazing, works flawlessly. I mean, no complaints there. So thanks for watching again.